I just messed up a boundary with my daughter. This is how I realized I messed up, why I messed up, and how I fixed it. So last night, I was noticing that my 15-year-old daughter is spending more and more time with her boyfriend and less time with her friend group. And as parents, we need to be the gutter guards, right? We need to be the people that are rational and help our kids stay balanced so that they maintain relationships, especially when they're in romantic relationships, because their friendships tend to take a back seat. And so I sat down with her, I let her know that things are going to start slowing down on the boyfriend end to make space for her to make plans with her friends. She obviously did not like that limit. And let me preface, when I say how I define a boundary. A boundary is a limit or a rule that you set in place to stay healthy, safe, balanced, happy, and in relationship. Boundaries help you strengthen your relationships. And so my intention with this limit with her was to balance her and make sure she remains in relationship with her girlfriends. So she didn't like it. I explained to her how her wanting to always be with this option, which is hang out with her boyfriend, is totally normal. This is how she should feel as a teenager. It feels the best, and they're always going to choose what is most pleasurable as a teenager. That's where parents come in, right? We're the bad guys. And she accused me of being controlling, overbearing, and she said, "You have no reason to be doing this. I am not depressed. I'm not anxious. I still talk with my friends. I've maintained them just fine. And her grades are straight A's." So she's basically calling me out, saying I have no right to set this limit. And I just said, "I'm sorry, you don't understand. And I'm still setting the limit. It's my job as a parent. I'm not your friend." And I also explained, if I was controlling her, the difference between controlling and being a concerned parent and making sure I do my job. Like a controlling parent, I would have you join a club that I think you need to join, or a sport because I think you need to do it, and I would make you do it against your will. That's controlling. I am more so just setting a limit. However, teenage daughter, she didn't see that. Okay, so she goes away. She goes to the football game with her boyfriend, not her friend group, which that's kind of what prompted the conversation. And last night I'm laying in bed, and this is what I often do when I have a big talk with my kids. I always try to self-reflect, and I think, okay, this was my intention, but how could they have interpreted it? Like, how could she have interpreted my limit or boundary around her boyfriend? And it really hit me, and I want to share this with you because I think this will help even if you're an adult, like single person, this will validate your feelings because you most likely went through this with your parents, even though they're well-intentioned, setting limits or rules for you. If you have young kids, buckle up because it's coming. And this will also be helpful if you're a parent that has adult children out of the house. This will bring a different perspective and a different awareness that maybe it might spark some conversations with your adult child, and you can validate some of their feelings that maybe they've had or expressed to you, and maybe you've denied them because your intention was definitely different than how they interpreted your rules or boundaries. So this is how she could have misinterpreted it. What she could have heard when I set the limit is, "You're not doing a good enough job. I don't trust that you're able to manage this. I don't believe you should trust your judgment in this, and you're just not doing enough." So all the ways that she could have interpreted my setting this limit or boundary with her are real bad. I want my daughter to believe she can trust her gut instinct. I want her to believe that I believe in her and I have confidence in her decision making. I don't want her to second guess herself. And those are not interpretations that I want my child to ever have. And so this morning, sit down next to her and I'm like, I need to talk to you about last night, which of course she immediately gets it messed up. And I said, I messed up and I want to work with you on this and come at it in a different way. So she lowered her defenses and I told her exactly what I just told you. How I expressed my boundary or concern for you, you could have interpreted it in a multitude of ways. That wasn't my intention. And I don't ever want you to think that. I think you're doing a really good job. I think that you make great choices. Your values are on point. And I don't want you to think I don't believe in you. So here's the thing. I do have this concern as a parent, which is totally normal, and I should. How can we come to some agreements where you maybe hang out with friends once a week? We see your friends come over once a week. Maybe on the weekend, you know, you hang out and then the next day you can hang out with your boyfriend. Just something so that we can see you nurturing your friendships, because should something happen, we just want to make sure you have a good group that you can still fall back on if your relationship with your boyfriend falls apart. And she was very receptive to that because she felt in control. Because I didn't actually say once a week. I asked her, how often do you think it's fair to hang out with a friend, balance your homework load, balance the fact that you're an introvert and you need recharge time, and spend time with your boyfriend? Like, what is fair of me to ask of you? She's the one that actually said one time a week. Fine. So I put her in the driver's seat, so she's in control, telling me what she thinks is fair. And so then we carved out this agreement. And at the end of it, we were both satisfied. I still set a boundary with my teenage daughter. There's still a limit. She doesn't see it that way anymore. All she sees is I just have to spend one day a week with my friends, which is totally fine and healthy. And then my parents don't have to worry about anything. And it's better. So I messed it up. That's how I messed it up. And then I made it better this morning. And I really hope that helps no matter what stage of life you are in. Because like I said, if you are an adult child, you've experienced this. And this could maybe give you a place where, or words where you could go and you could talk to your parents and kind of like rehash it out, where you say, I know you never intended on being overbearing. I know you never intended on making me feel like I lack confidence because you smoothed out every bump possible for me. I know you never intended that. And this is how it made me feel. And that's where you guys could start the conversation and come to a place of understanding, because I know it's really important as human beings. We just want to feel understood. So that's my little mess up, my boundary mess up today. I'll be back with more. I've messed up tons in my life. I've also learned a lot. And I hope you have an awesome day. And until we meet next time, make sure you mind your boundaries.